He's got clout. He's got clout. He's got clout. He's got clout.
Good morning. I'm not sure. I don't see us as online according to OBS. Maybe we just have some sort of. I don't know if there's a technical issue or anything, but if you are here, shout out something in the chat just to make sure that I know that this is working. We have a request show today as well. If there are any requests for poetry, the floor is open for those requests for commissions, on the spot work. Give me literally anything. Up there we go. Numbers are showing. We are good. We are live. We are solid. I am making a renewed effort to get started more on time today. It looks like I got started about a minute and a half after 7 o'clock, which is pretty good compared. So I will be approaching that 7 o'clock number in an effort to overall increase the discipline of my life and to be able to become a better person. Now, if we don't have any requests coming in the chat, I do have a project that I am going to begin. It is a new request from someone I had a sit-down meeting with yesterday regarding a poem for their mother. Really nice poem for this woman who around this time every year has both her birthday and her what was her anniversary with her husband who passed away many years ago, and so there is a lot of emotion around this time, and so I want to be able to give honor and reverence and in memoriam for her husband that passed away many years ago, but also to be able to help encourage her during this time to celebrate the things that are around her. And once I finish my protein shake, goodness, I, was just catching up on my run and stuff, so. And I think with the increased versatility of Streamlabs, I'm probably going to start shifting my operations over. So we're going to see some changes in the stream over the next few weeks. As I had mentioned yesterday, Tuesdays are going to become typewriter repair days. Wednesdays are going to become, Wednesdays are request show days. Thursdays are going to become new typewriter days. So I have an Olympia that I'm going to use tomorrow. And then Fridays, or it might not be an Olympia. Tomorrow might be the, what is it? It's the, not the Olympia, but it's actually an electric typewriter. It's a Smith Corona electric, daisy wheel typewriter. But anyway, enough with the jabbering. Let's get to some writing. Open up my little handy notebook here. Poem for her mother. So as always with my initial, we lost our lighting there. How is our charging on the phone? So many things that I'm getting together. This is what happens when you start a stream at 7 o'clock. But the good thing is getting here and working it out after the fact, right? So again, how these start is that I just simply am kind of adding, just ideas, really kind of just smashing things together and seeing what's going to come of it. And having some Akira the Dawn play in the background. Good transitions are always good. So some personal notes on this poem. The couple in question, the husband and the wife, who were bonded through this, they met at a grocery store. They both worked in the same grocery store. And I tell you something, I really, like, the person I'm writing a poem for is turning 68. She was married from 1973 to, I think it's been 12 years ago, so like that's like 2008. So like she was married for like nearly 50 years. You know, and like I just sit here and I'm like, I'm the poet. And then a guy emailed me that was like, you know, you seem wise beyond your years. I wrote for his son. His son was going through, has gotten a new job, is a very important job that I couldn't even know anything about. I wrote a poem nevertheless about it. I don't know what it is. I don't want to say I have wisdom beyond my years. I don't think I do. But I think that there's something that even from the old to young, there's something deeply relational. And for me as a young person, what that makes me think about is it makes me think about the fact that lots of things don't change when you get older. Like, lots of things do. But, like, we'll always be dealing with the same challenges, same issues. A priest recently remarked at a homily at a mass I went to that real life was not things going great. Like, real life was just things as they are. And as they are, we're often on the way. I don't know, if that makes sense. Because I just wrote the sentence, the decades. It's right there. The decades. And I'm just like, holy heck, that's that's a lot. So yeah, it's really humbling to be asked to create something for this person. Let's keep on going. I don't know if the light bearing. Oh my goodness, Steve Disco Do Some is in the chat. Welcome to the show. If you want to request a poem, poetry requests are open. I can take what I'm working on and just take it off the typewriter. Yeah, this is my show. It's low key. It's meant to be kind of a space where people that may not usually be poetic can express themselves poetically or can just hang out. I'm planning on your massively energetic use of Streamlabs is inspiring, and I'm gonna probably start putting together some things using the commands functions and things like that to be able to help make it more versatile in the chat. Such as having people be able to count my words when I use words too many times. I catch myself sometimes using easy filler, meaningful words like humanity or love or things like that, and to have people maybe be checking me on that. Something I just thought of this morning. So glad you're able to pop in. If you have a request for a poem, completely free, just shout it out, and I'll throw it on the typewriter. I'll do anything. Yeah, I'll get weird and fun. Right now, I'm writing a very personal poem for a friend's mother who is kind of struggling with the memory of losing her husband, even though it's been years. Recently, I've been on kind of a kick of set designing. Glad to be just here. Thank you so much, Steve Disco Newsom. Really do appreciate you popping in the chat. And yeah, I'll reach out if I have any questions about the Streamlabs side of things. It might be some time before I set it up. But yeah, so I'm writing this poem for this woman's mother who I've been writing a lot recently for people who are older, seniors whose spouses passed away long times ago that are still kind of gripping with that. And I find that to be just a definitely an important, not as often highlighted part of grief of getting older that I'm hopefully going to help this person grapple with. So, but in the meantime, you'll have some good typewriter ASMR. And this is my first draft, so in no way is any of this actually going to be that's definitely in the end result of the poem. Good morning, Twitchio Alex. Steve Disco Newsom is in the chat as well. Taking requests or just simply writing along as Akira's music plays in the background. Let me try to hoping the decades with. Okay, so I'm gonna lower my music here. So, so I have my rough notes, but this is kind of, I guess, a really good start to capturing all the details. But this poem might need to really actually get longer, really. No title yet. The bond of immigrant children finding in their wandering ways, wandering the grocer's aisles for that sweetest moment. Family tying each other together to the point of drowning, enveloping the decades with grandchildren who hold memory in their hearts of a man with a body of steel, battling for the sight into the decades ahead. Within your bosom is a light lantern held aloft. Among the clouds and confusion, modern titans bickering through the pandemic and poetic. Your husband knew of destiny, knew of your love before the altar declared, before children dedicated lives to you both, into all the family always surrounding even from afar, even from the heavenly plane. So yeah, so I think that some of the places, I don't like, I can't, the word bosom doesn't work there. It works sometimes. It's a very limited use. Thank you so much, Steve Disco Newsom, Twitter Alex. Thank you so much. This is the first draft, which will expand outward. I can already see, I need a bridge there. And I will continue editing this poem a little later. Now, I have to get another poem off of my printer, which is a poem about ice cream that needs to be edited. And I'll talk about that one in just a sec, but if anybody has any requests that is lurking, you could pop them in. Otherwise, I will be right back. Disco or Steve? I think that I will call you Disco if you don't mind it. I've never been able to call anybody Disco. So I will call you Disco. I think that's actually a cool name to go as a nickname. So I wrote a poem a few weeks ago for an ice cream shop. And the poem was a great poem about ice cream, except as a poet, what you often use, and I don't know, I have music playing. I thought we were having music. As a poet, what you do is you use stereotypes often. You're using, but not like bad stereotypes, just basically things that everybody has shared knowledge of to be able to craft a poem. So, for example, in this last poem, I was using shared knowledge of the immigrant experience, shared knowledge of falling in love, family, being kind of, very passionate about each other. And then there's some things which I've assumed about this person. I've assumed that since she's an older soul, she probably believes in heaven. So I mentioned that at the end. I drop in the reference to the pandemic because that's a collective experience. So that's how kind of when constructing with images as a poet, that's what I do. So I wrote this amazing poem. This guy came up to me, he said, I have an ice cream shop, write me a poem. So I said, great. So I wrote this amazing poem full of very stereotypical images of an ice cream shop, except he didn't have a stereotypical ice cream shop. And it was one of those few times where the poem absolutely fell flat on its face. So this guy, the opening lines of the poem are, every child dreams of vanilla and chocolate and strawberry sweets, those mythic rewards in the store where everything gleams of crystalline beauty. This guy literally created an ice cream store, and I love this concept myself, based around atypical flavors. He goes out of his way to not put vanilla and chocolate and strawberry onto the menu. So I read those opening lines of the poem. Boom, poem was doomed from the start. But a lot of the aspects of the poem are still very good. So I have to figure out how to mix in some of these the very uniqueness of his store with the archetype of ice cream shops in general. And that's what I'm going to do. Now, I had said a couple of streams ago that I was going to start editing off stream because I don't want to have you guys just watching me hunched over with a pen. That will eventually be the case. But in the meantime, let me throw back on some music as I make some notes to this poem. Some of the flavors that this guy has in his shop as of October 3rd. We have apricot, tomato, basil, all in one. Whiskey, a whiskey ice cream flavor. I actually should probably drive down there. Kiwi, and a flavor called D's Nuts. No joke. I don't know if you can see it on there, but it says D's Nuts, right there. Is the one right there. This is from his Facebook. So I'm going to celebrate the uniqueness of this store, while at the same time celebrating his ice cream shop in general. And he probably forgot I even was going to do this for him, but I'm going to get this done. And this poem, good morning, David. I am editing a poem about an ice cream shop. Thank you so much for tuning in. And what frustrates me about this poem at the ice cream shop is, frankly, I like the original poem. I'm actually going to probably retype the original poem and frame it and sell it as a just one of my framed poems because it's so tight. Let me. It's just such a tight poem about a traditional ice cream shop, and then this is not a traditional ice cream shop. But it's cool because it's starting to take a new turn about how life's flavors are, that in reality, vanilla and chocolate and strawberry represent like a typical ideal. But when you have flavors like candy apple and toasted marshmallow, you start to actually get tied to something more real. Like it gets more concrete, doesn't it? Because life isn't just all vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. It's it's coconut. It's cheesecake. It's brownie batter even. Like it gets like you're getting tied more to the things. That's vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry are such ethereal concepts, which is fine, and they're very good concepts. They're very good flavors as well. But for me, I would take bubblegum or whiskey, whiskey ice cream flavors any day. So I'm really excited to get this get this on the page. And I managed to rhyme creme brulee with day. That was fun. Put here the mind of a child shatters with unlimited possibility. The flavors of life so unique they must reflect reality. And then maybe some flavors. All right. I have enough to start typing. Spencer of Grove has actually written a poem about vanilla, and he said he could stick with vanilla for life. So yeah, and I feel like people fall into two different camps. So I am, when it comes to ice cream, I am the eclectic. Give me, I would do all sorts of weird flavors. I always jump to the weirdest flavor on the menu, which is why this place is like Nirvana for me. It's like perfect. My wife is chocolate every time, and plain chocolate every time. And I look at her, I'm like, look at all the toppings, look at all. Nope, chocolate straight. Vanilla is indeed overlooked. Let's get some typing happening. I have a hard stop today at 7:45, so stupid car needs to keep getting repaired, and the repair shop keeps messing with my time. So let me get at least get this poem out here. I forgot to start this stream with a poem, reading a poem. I can't believe it. Yeah, Steve Disco says, Disco, your name is Disco. I'm like you, if there's something crazy on any menu I try. Exactly, that's my thing too. It's crazy combinations. Center line is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15. So 15 from the center line. I have been deep in poem land. Mint chocolate chip is Spencer Groves' home, or vanilla bean to feel classy like a 50s lounge singer. You gotta put some of that vanilla into a milkshake, and then you're going classic. But I can't, and this is just me, but I can't vibe with mint in my ice cream. It makes my mouth feel weird, and I can't vibe with mint in my chocolate either. I tip my hat to you, my good friend, because that's a combination that I don't think I'll ever go near. But it's cool that you like to experiment as well. But yeah, my wife is such a non-experimenter, is the way that I would put it. We got 5 minutes for me to wrap up this poem. If the poem refers to kids, because I wanted to include. Here's the thing. So the one of the biggest. Oh great. Go down to the soda shop and have a strawberry phosphate. I like that. Because this poem is all about being a kid and loving ice cream shops as a kid, and I have a problem with the flavor of whiskey listed on here. I intrinsically have a problem with it because I'm imagining my kids taking my kids to the shop and the kid going, "What's whiskey?" And I have to explain to him that he could order that flavor because it's there. But now I'm poetically looped it in. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it because I don't want to talk about kids getting drunk. No, I can't do it. There are lines. And we're back. Maybe a tongue-in-cheek comment about it being fake. I have passed on it entirely. But yeah, no, I don't think it would be bad to put it in, but it actually worked better with the candy apple appearing. That alliteration is something that I think I like better, and you can see that right there. And I would just eliminate this like in my final draft, which there will be a final draft of it. This is a 3-stanza poem. I don't know if it's going to fit on my small piece of paper, but I'm ready to I'm rolling through the end here. In between the snickerdoodle and creme brulee. So, with a little bit of fudging around, I can probably get it to fit all on the page. And I have finished in time before the stream ends. And I have a good rough draft done, and I'm very satisfied with this rough draft. Flavors of life. Every child dreams of ice cream, in the store where everything gleams of crystalline beauty. Smiles explode in banana split bowls of wonder, gooey goodness bursting, making a mess of it all. But here, the mind of the child shatters with unlimited possibility. Flavors of life so unique they must reflect reality. Tomato, basil, and candy apple appearing as mirages become matter in little waffle cones, and the most real flavor of all. Do you taste it in between the snickerdoodle and creme brulee? Do you feel it at the end of the day as we all dig spoons into scoop sculptures of ice delight? It is love, mixed right in every savored bite, at the downtown ice cream shop, where we all become children again. And that is Flavors of Life. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We had a crowd today. Really appreciate it. You can always request a poem on any of my streams. I just like to dedicate these streams to requests in case you had ideas. Sometimes I like to pull from the chat and get inspiration, but I'm frankly behind on projects, so I took advantage of the opportunity. We have Disco in the chat, Twitch Hero Alex, thank you again so much. Spencer of Grove with his vanilla poem, which I am going to bookmark for tomorrow morning. We'll read that to start the stream. Chrome is opening up and being slow. Hold on a second. My computer explodes every time I open up Chrome. All right, so that's saved. We also had David at Wind City Chess pop in. Thank you all for being here as part of the stream. Really appreciate it. Flavors so we have Spencer Grove said, flavors so real, they must reflect reality was a line I like quite a bit, as well as love mixed right in. Thank you so much, everybody. And tomorrow, we're going to have a new typewriter. It's not new. There's no new typewriters. But we're going to have a new typewriter here on the spot, working on some poems. So if you want to check out what the new typewriter is for Typewriter Thursday, that'll be here. Oh, Cherry Hazelnuts, thanks for popping in. You are all great and awesome, and thank you so much, and have a wonderful day. And I'll see some of you on the Akira stream.